You have 56 seconds to start the stream. Exactly. Quickly, you're on a time limit. 44 seconds.
Yeah, it's
40
okay.
seconds now.
It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna scroll up to where it is. Nope, that's a GIF. That's the wrong channel. It's fine. I got this.
30 seconds now.
That's me. It's plenty of time. It's plenty. Where the fuck? Oh, I found it. I got it. See. I'm good at this.
Nice.
So for the people in chat, what we're gonna be doing is for this first font, it is Tom's. We've done one of his fonts before, quite a while ago. And this time we've got a short one of a couple fights he got in, and he's actually here. So I'm gonna ask him some questions.
Yeah.
What we're just gonna be doing is I'm gonna be going through your VOD, and I'm gonna be pausing it, like just 2 or 3 key moments, I think, and just asking about why you did what you did or what you thought about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. And for people that are curious, because I had a lot of questions about it on Reddit, is how much do you play per week normally?
Me?
Yeah. On average.
Okay, well, it depends. Some weeks, like, I'll get home and I'll just, like, not have any study to do because I'll have done it all on the weekend. And then I'll play probably about an hour a day.
Yep.
And then I also play about 45 minutes of Kovacs every day. But that's only just because I'm trying to improve. And then there's also the time that I spend on the weekend. So I probably spend about, 3 to 4 hours. Or actually, no, it's become a bit less now, 2 hours on the weekends.
Yeah, but we'll say...
just on Saturday and Sunday.
So on average in a week, let's say maybe 15 hours would be pretty normal.
Yeah.
That
like
includes
those lines.
Kovacs, of course, because you're also aim training.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the first thing I wanted to point out, because we looked at your... Obviously, you've been helping people a lot, but we also looked at your VOD, and I was talking about how much you've improved, and I was talking about a key part of that is consistency. And playing almost every day, I feel like has helped you a lot, so just wanted to point that out.
Oh, that's good.
Right, so
Right. I'll try and keep up the consistency.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is a huge key, more so than the total hours, if you ask me. Playing every day is worth a lot more than putting in 10 hours in the weekend, which is something we'll get into after this VOD, but... I want to pause right here, because you just landed, you looked around a bit where people landed, and there was another team here ahead of you that I think you can see right here.
Yeah.
And you've got your teammate right here. So I just want to ask you, like, what do you think you want to do in this situation? Or what should you do?
Well, I wasn't always intending to land there. I kind of wanted to land right at the very, closest to the ship area, but I thought a team was landing there, so I didn't want to contest them. I sort of wanted to get some space. So I was half tempted to go to the left, that other area with the little flyer in the cage, just doing some loot from there. But considering I saw there's another team over there, my teammates here, thought I'd just engage this fight, especially considering I got a Havoc, and then I was sort of thinking I'd go up on the right, see if there's any body shields or anything like that. But then I saw the Gibraltar, I saw that he didn't have a weapon out, then, just like, rest is history, I just sort of tunnel visioned on him, and then I didn't see where the rest of his team was, so I was sort of looking around for them.
Alright, makes sense. So
process through the whole thing.
So you changed your mind on where you wanted to go, but you ended up here, which is fine, because like you said, you got a Havoc. And you have your teammate going probably for this left box, so you say you want to check the right side for an armor. That totally makes sense. You know there's a team ahead of you here, so you want to, keep a little cover from them, keep an eye on them, and hopefully punish them with your Havoc if they don't have a weapon, so that's great. And of course you've got your teammate on the right side behind you, so as long as you don't hear your caustic screaming, I'm getting shot at, that side's probably fairly safe, so that's not bad at all. So let's
I actually
look at it.
wanted to do a bit of a zigzag, so I wanted to see if there was anything good in the box that I could join, because basically my thought process is I've seen these guys, like in the start screen, Bangalore's got like 50 kills or something, so like if there's a body shield or something in there, I'm taking that so I can go fight the team, because if the Bangalore has the shield, it's probably going to be, I don't want to be mean, but wasted on her.
You'll probably get more value out of it. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, I
like
do...
early game, I don't want anyone to die, so I'm just going to take all of the good stuff and then kill the rest of the teams, hopefully get some high kills, that sort of thing.
So that's fine. When you land here and she lands next to you, you both get a box, and it's fine that you want to prioritize getting the good loot because you feel confident that you can help these teammates. But the problem is that if you do that by contesting the same loot box, that then after that, because the one behind you is already looted, and there's an enemy team here, there's only 2 opportunities for this Bangalore. Either she goes and contests your loot over here, which is a lot more than it's in this box, right? So you could be taking all of this by yourself, Plus you would have this cover against the enemy team, so it's just a nice little spot to have compared to this open spot. Or she runs in without gear and dies, and then it doesn't matter if she's good or bad, even if she's a smurf or if she's a new player, she'll lose no matter what, because she doesn't have anything, right? So you are guaranteeing now that she is not going to give any value, and you have a chance of her ruining your value. So either way, it's not worth contesting the box. I think you should just go with your original plan of taking the loot on the right side. And the other reason, way more important than your Bangalore, is that you landed here, the enemies landed here, pretty symmetrical. You have a pretty even chance with this enemy team of looting this area first, right? The only difference is that they have more boxes, so hopefully they'll be busy for a second longer. If you go and fight with your Bangalore over this box, well, this Gibraltar could have already picked up the shield here, so that would screw you over quite a lot. Because you're at the same distance from them, so that's why I wouldn't do it. That little move puts you now in a worse spot because you're out in the open, and means that you haven't contested this right side, which has cover and has more loot.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Right, but then here, like you said, he doesn't have a weapon, so you punished him quite easily. That's very good. And you do have a little ledge here for cover. It's not the best. Boxes behind you are better, but so far so good. You've got one down. So now we look at this situation. We saw an enemy right here just now, I believe, right? Is there anything else? Yeah, I believe it was a Pathfinder as well. So we know about one enemy. There's one we don't know about. Where would you estimate the other enemy to be as best you can, and what do you expect this Pathfinder to do?
I was sort of expecting the building there to be like as far out as that team was, and I was thinking his team was behind him looting those boxes in that. I think there are some boxes behind that building. You know, I think they might have been checking for loot there, or they might have taken the same building. I didn't really think they were going to be anywhere else in the area, just because I can see most of that stuff. Yeah,
makes sense. So there's only one enemy missing, of course, because you killed the Gibraltar. And what we knew from earlier is you've got your teammate on the right here, right? And he hasn't been shot at, nor has he shot, as far as I've been able to tell. So there's probably not somebody on this big building. Maybe on these boxes behind, but not on this big building. So then, yeah, it is logical that because these boxes are unlooted, the other person might be behind the big building. So based on that, if you think that the Pathfinder, well, we just saw him here, and the other opponent is probably somewhere in the same direction as well, how do you want to approach this?
What I was thinking was, the way I approached it in the beginning was I saw that I had a grenade. I was kind of panicking a little bit because I thought Pathfinder might have a sniper, and he also might have armor. Makes sense. If he has a sniper, he's got a really good line of sight on me. I don't have a lot of cover, so I was thinking I'll just loot the rest of this area first, see if I can get a body shield. If I can't, you know, I'll just push it anyway because I want kills. Yeah. And yeah, I was thinking, you know, I can stop him from peeking me while I'm crossing that open area by using the grenade.
Makes sense.
So I just do that. Area control, and then I think that's how that plays out.
So we were just talking before you went for dinner about the situation you're in. So you killed the Gibraltar, just for anybody that tuned in, I'm gonna do a quick recap. You killed the Gibraltar right here, who didn't have a weapon and an armor, so something I said after you left is there's no point checking this box, because he doesn't have anything that's valuable to you right now when there's an enemy visible, probably.
Yeah.
And you saw an enemy here, and we already talked a little bit about you expect the last enemy to be somewhere behind this building or in it or underneath it in this area, because these boxes are unlooted and your teammate's on the right and hasn't been shot at and hasn't shot. So it's most likely that both enemies are in this area, the one you can see and the one we can't see, right? The other thing that we talked about a little bit at the start is when you dropped, we were talking about this right side area, which nobody looted this entire time. And you were planning to loot it, but you ended up forgetting it here once you saw the Pathfinder.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. The minute I saw Gibby, I was like, oh, Gibby might have loot on him. So
yeah, it makes sense to kill him. And checking this box also makes sense to me until you see this enemy, just because what you mentioned before you left is you weren't sure what weapons he has and whether he has maybe a sniper. So that's a risk when you're out and you're in the open. That's well identified. But then the reaction to it is probably taking cover first until you know which weapon he has, right? So it doesn't make sense to go for the box in the open. Instead, you have some cover here, or the loot on the right has more cover next to it as well. So both of those make more sense. And then you can tell if he has a wingman or a longbow, and then you can check the box afterwards. Because nobody's going to take it. You control this box, right? You control this area, so you're fine.
It was lacking a bit of object permanence there. I really thought, oh yeah, he might have loot on him. He might have a gun.
It's all good. I fall for this as well. Definitely in this meta, it's very important to know when you can loot, because you can get punished for it too quickly.
Happened to me just yesterday, actually.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot. So let's look at how this plays out. We know in which general direction they are. You were afraid that he has a sniper, so you're in the open quite a lot for somebody that might have a sniper, right? I know he backed off a little bit, but if I'm pushing up here and I don't know what the enemy has weapon-wise, and I am afraid he has a sniper because he's holding a window, then the first thing I do is get behind that box and figure it out. Because if he does, you're probably screwed right now. Even you'll probably, if you die to a longbow headshot right now because you don't have armor, you'll be yelling at your screen like, I fucking knew. Like, I knew he may have had a sniper, and still I did, you know, so you did the identification, now you need to respond to it. Right, and it's nice that you're keeping range with your scout for a little bit because you don't have armor, and you already mentioned you were going to use the grenade to make sure they couldn't peek while you push up, which is fine.
Yeah, if only I could hit my shots with the G7 this game. I'm not really much better with it.
That's think it was the rough with the iron sights. Yeah, and here, once again, it's a small thing, but it's definitely a habit you want to look at is this grenade already explodes by the time you push up, but even if it didn't, they could have taken the roof or the left side. So this box is not in cover enough from where you last saw them to be worth checking, unless you know it has an armor. If it has an armor and you can slide in, grab it fast and go around the corner, that's fine because you have a plan that's really fast. If it's not worth checking it just to check for loot, because it is slightly too risky, especially since you don't have an armor yet. Especially since on the right there was the box as well. You're actually harder to shoot if you're at that box than this loot box, right? So it makes more sense to check the open chest.
I don't think I noticed that one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I should just pay more attention while I'm trying to, you know, not in a fight.
You hit enough shots there, so that's nice. Way better cover usage here, so this is good. There's something I want to point out just for the people watching. You're already doing it well here, but the smallest sidelines possible is always very powerful and makes it very hard to get hit. So as soon as you get up to this corner, you've got the wall, the corner obviously for cover, but you've also got the staircase here. So you can make actually a tiny sideline. You want the enemy to just be in this little corner and nothing else to be visible, because then you're also almost invisible. And if you have the first shots, that makes it very, very hard for him to counter you. So that's why I wanted to point out that this is great cover usage. Like, it's a step back would maybe even be more powerful, but obviously that's like nitpicking, that's useless. This is very, very hard for him to actually hit you. He's going to hit the staircase, he's going to hit the wall, and you can walk either backwards or right. You can even strafe and be almost impossible to hit. So it's very, very good.
Yeah, coming off of Pathfinder, I've really learned to abuse this. Just it's definitely just so hard to hit his head.
Yeah, if I'm playing ranked, you'll see me abusing small holes and sidelines like that a lot. Right, so here you take a little bit of cover. You don't have armor, so you avoid walk to make sure you don't die because you have little health, right? So it's good reactions. Definitely for anybody watching that plays Wraith, making it an instinct when you get below 50 health to just pop your Q is good. It's gonna save you. Like, 50 health goes too fast in this meta. You'll die too fast and it takes a second to activate. So this is a perfect usage of it. But now that you've popped it, you need somewhere to go that's going to either allow you to heal or that's going to allow you to kill them. So where do you want to go from here? Now that you've popped your Q, you're safe for a couple seconds. What's your plan?
What I thought was going to happen was I was going to launch myself out the window, and then since I've got a relatively, like, you know, it's normally off by about 1 or 2 seconds, but I sort of know where I can get to with Wraith's tactical.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around the area right now. I click the button first, and then I take a second to look around.
I do the same thing. Yeah, that's totally the right order to do it in.
Just because, like, I want to be invulnerable, but I also want to be going to the right spot, because if I go to the wrong spot, then I'm super vulnerable the minute I come out. So what I thought was, there's actually, just like to the left of the, I'm not sure what text prompt is coming up on the screen, but
use syringe,
the windowsill. Yeah, use syringe.
Here probably.
Yeah, it just yeah, about that area. I thought there was a box or something like that, not like a death box, but yeah, that thing. I'm on super low resolution, so I can't
no
quite
worries.
see it, but yeah, I thought I could make it to that, and then I could just sort of like get a syringe off by then. And then I was thinking, if somebody jumps out behind me, they're going to be out in the open. I can probably beat them aim wise, just because in an aim duel, most of the time I'll win. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, get to cover and then deal with them if they're chasing you. That's basically the 2 steps, right?
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, I totally agree. That's very good. So in general, there's two things that you can do when you avoid. So first we'll talk about when to activate it, because you mentioned it already, that you activate it first and then you figure out where to go. So I always talk about having an exit strategy, but obviously sometimes stuff happens too fast and you don't have one ready. And that's where your Void Walk is your oh shit ability. You're about to die. So you pretty much always use it in moments where you are actually about to die and you don't have time to figure out where to go. And then as soon as you're invulnerable, now you do have a second to figure out where to go. So that's the right way to do it. And then you have two things you can do when you activate Void Walk. The first is to try and reset the fight, because you use it when you're on low health. So what Tom is going to be doing here essentially is resetting the fight. So get to, it's a truck here, I believe. Get to behind the truck.
Yeah,
if he's getting pushed, he can deal with them, but if not, he can heal, and then because he's in a safe position, he can figure out how to re-engage. So that's the point of resetting a fight. The other opportunity, if you're in a position where both your teammates, for example, are still alive, or the enemies are not very good, or they're low health, you can use your Void Walk to get to a stronger position where you can finish the enemies. So if that was your goal, I wouldn't have gone for that either right here. You're in a 2v2, and you don't have armor, so I would go for reset as well. But just in case that was your goal, then I would have gone for the rooftop with the Void Wall. So those are your two options. Tom ends up going for the reset. So let's look how it plays out. Uses Void Wall, gets to the truck, bobbing and weaving and bunny hopping to not get hit, so that's very good. I would have stopped behind the truck, because now you might get hit again. If you want to get more distance for the reset, that's fine. But then stand still behind the truck here for a second. Because as soon as you go behind the truck, they're probably pre-aiming this area. Or maybe the other side of the truck where they're expecting you to go. So stand still for a second until they decide, oh shit, I'm going to push him. Or they decide, I'm just going to wait. And then go out when you're unpredictable.
Yeah, something weird happened with my perspective there. So I wasn't paying too much attention to that rock behind me when I was in the windowsill. I could see that it was flat and there's no cover.
Yeah.
But while I was running up there, I thought, you know, there was like some cover there. And so I was like, I can get cover and high ground. And I just saw one of these like triple take shots go like wildly off where I am. So I'm like, okay, this guy's a terrible shot. I can get some high ground, I can get some cover. He's actually going to be dead.
Until the next one hits. Because it's a triple take and it's pretty much hit cap. No, I feel you. So it's a bit of overconfidence, because definitely it's a risk up with the health you have. Just in general, if you've used Void Walk, you should be below 50 health. So expect to get one shot, right?
Yeah,
and people will...
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say is that when you have your Void Walk on cooldown, people also get confident to spam at you because they know you're low health. So that's also where, yeah, this triple take was missing shots because he was spamming because he knows you're in danger and your teammates nowhere near to help you. So staying behind the truck and healing is more valuable because he's going to be throwing everything he has at you, knowing you're not going to shoot back anyway.
I see that sort of red tent and I go, oh yeah, you know, time to leave.
Makes sense. And then here you got a high ground position, so your approach to it was too risky. Definitely should have staggered your movement or healed up there, just as part of your reset. Your reset wasn't done yet. But then you did go for a powerful position. You were able to punish them. So that was very good. Then there's one enemy left near your teammate. You're still very low health and you haven't used these syringes yet. Also, like a second ago, before your teammate went down, I can understand why you might want to push aggro on this last guy, because you're 2v1, right? When you've got two down here. But as soon as your teammate goes down, that simplifies it into a 1v1, and now all you want to do is kill the last person, right? So
already at a disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah, so
I could just sort of like jump him.
Well, now you have an advantage while your teammate is up. So now there is a point in pushing, even though you have lower health. You have an advantage, so you can push on and you can overwhelm the enemy and have different sightlines from your teammate. So that totally makes sense. But then we go a couple seconds ahead, and after you kill this guy, your teammate goes down. Right, so you're pushing up, teammate goes down. Now abort attacking because you lost your advantage. Now you're at a disadvantage because you have 40 health. Now you don't know what this guy's health is, so we assume he has a lot of it. So now you're at a disadvantage. So now you need to go and heal.
Don't worry, Shizo, I noticed, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. I definitely did notice that he had blue. Sort of my strategy was, I need fast healing. That guy has a blue shield. I want his blue shield. And then while I was jumping down, I was thinking the caustic could handle him for like 5 more seconds, but he dies as I'm like, yeah, I just noticed as I was jumping down, and I felt like an idiot because like I was like, oh yeah, I still got this anyway.
Well, that's definitely fine. If we look at the moment right before you jump down, or when you kill this guy, so you want this guy's armor, right? That you just killed here. pretty sure it's this guy who has blue armor. And there's one more enemy that in a second you'll know is right here, and you have a teammate here that goes down. So from this position, what sightlines does the enemy have, the last enemy that is here?
Well, the position that I'm in, or the position that he's in?
From
what sidelines does he have?
the last enemy, you know where he is now approximately?
Yeah.
He's on the left side here somewhere. So what in what positions does he have sightlines on you?
Well, because of the tree, while I'm up on the cliff, he can't really see me from the bottom one, but he can see me from the top one.
Yep.
When I jump down, he can see me from both angles, including the one with the high ground, so
Yep.
it's not a good spot to be in.
Alright, so we have your objective is the box right here. I'll put a square over that. That's your objective. And your obstacle, your risk is the enemy right here. And well, like you said, it's quite right. He's behind this, so his sideline extends basically here up into part of this high ground. Part of it is blocked by the tree, but just if he has a digi-threat, he can see through it. So just for ease sake. And then anything on the left side up until the piece of cover right here, he can see, right? And then if you step backwards, he can't see that either because you're on a high ground. So this entire orange area, maybe not counting the tree, this is the risk area. Sorry, hold on. I'm bad at drawing shit.
Oh, this is good. I like the style.
Like this. So you're safe when, or sort of safe when you're behind this tree. You're sort of safe when you're on the left here. You're sort of safe when you're on the right here. And you're not safe if you're in this middle path here, right? That's what we know about his sidelines. Well, if your objective is this box, then what's your next move?
Well, based off of where he can and can't see me, maybe make sure that I know what sightline he's probably going to peek, and then just make a pathway where he can see as little of me as possible while I try and make it to that death box. Maybe pull off a syringe while I'm looking around too. Considering it's a 1v1, he'll reset, but it's okay.
Yeah, where you use that syringe kind of depends on you and your playstyle. Just finding an opportunity to use it would be good, no matter where it is. Definitely a good thing to focus on. Right now, his sideline is blocked off to almost the entire right side of your screen, other than up this staircase. There's a little part that he can see, obviously, but the rest is blocked, right? So this entire right side is very safe. We're going to do some check marks because it's safe, it's good, happy face, this is safe. So if you go towards your right, like let's say around this truck, you can get to the box without him seeing you, right? So if your objective is this box, there's nothing you have to do to reach that goal other than just go for it. There's nothing in between you and the box that's going to stop you or kill you. So anything you do right now when it comes to dropping down in this open sideline, shooting at him, all those things are just unnecessary risks because you have a safe approach already. So there's no need to take any risks. So you can just drop down on the right, take the box. You already know where he is, even if you can't see him when you go to the right. You're not going to lose track of him because it's a 1v1, which really simplifies the situation. Then you have your armor and you can decide if you want to pop a syringe or if you just want to fight him with that blue armor. That depends on the situation and what you want to do. But there's no need to take a risk here.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
Right,
don't really think about sidelines too often.
Well, there you go. Then that's something to think about. I've been thinking about sidelines a lot lately, so there we go. That's why I'm talking about them a lot.